The late 90s and the early 2000s would be shaped in Atlanta by an interesting guy, a brother by the name of Lil Jon. And for those of you who remember the group, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and the I Like Them Girls song, yes, he was the definition of crunk rap. And a lot of us from Northern California, we got introduced to Lil Jon by Too Short. And obviously we know what would happen with that. And you know, he would end up making Tell Me When to Go. I mean, Lil Jon is a legend, right? And because of Lil Jon's progression from being a DJ to being, you know, a producer slash rapper, he got a lot of opportunities. And Jon would end up obviously falling in love with a chick by the name of Nicole Smith, okay? And this is important because they were married for a long time. He met her, I believe, in like the late 90s. She's from Memphis, from what I understand. And Lil Jon grew up in a middle-class neighborhood, but anyways, he would end up falling in love with her and they would get married, all right? After getting married, obviously, and they're still technically married, they would separate. They separated in 2022. I'm not sure if they're still legally married now. And then that was that. However, on Thanksgiving, we ended up seeing an interesting post from Lil Jon, and it read, "This Thanksgiving, our hearts are full and so is the love. Happy 1-year birthday to our baby girl, Nahara. A lifetime of blessings ahead. Alhamdulillah." Okay, so we would see that. And then we would see the photo of the new lady, and her name is Jamila Zada, okay? I don't know where she's from, but definitely Middle Eastern. She kind of has that Persian Arabic vibe. And so once this picture was posted, it was a whole bunch of commentary from people from the community. But first, I want to get back to something that I heard Cat Williams say once before.
I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere.
Now, Cat Williams says, you know, once you join their little system, you get a light-skinned wife, typically unattractive with a weird face, that never does an interview, never say anything, right? And I thought that was interesting because this lady here, the first comment I saw was, he kept his life private. Happy Thanksgiving. Damn, she called it out. And this is exactly what Cat Williams said, word for word. This is the kind of woman that they always get. Let's go to Antonio. Her body language and eyes are telling Lil Jon, better have them assets in your mama's name. Why do every celebrity wife look the same like clone Kardashians? Then you hear this person, turn the cloning machine off. And I kept hearing this. I kept actually reading this rather. And again, like, you know, these black men, they have a black wife, leave the black wife. You know, you come from Atlanta and then you get something that's so far removed from what made you who you are. Then the person goes, hey, I thought this was Erica Minion. Got him! They all marry the same racially ambiguous woman. This person says we're supposed to believe that this woman was genuinely interested in Lil Jon. Now you have people defend Lil Jon. Y'all love tearing down black men who find love, but will praise the hell out of y'all black women who date white men. Grow up, please. Down. This person says, all I can think about is what Cat Williams says. Now, again, that is exactly what that clip was about. Deja vu. She don't listen to crunk music. Again, she's not black, so why are you dating her? The symbolism is loud, okay? And of course, he has a white woman. Why would she be black? And then, well,
black men date light-skinned, exotic white women because they want to have daughters that they're actually attracted to. And not attracted in like a weird, but they want to have a daughter that would be deemed the preference. And for most men, they believe that the light-skinned, curly hair, mixed race looking woman is deemed more attractive. So they aim to have those mixed kids. I know a lot of times y'all like to scrutinize white women and say that white women are the ones that are going after our black men because they having mixed race kids, but so do black men. Black men strive to have that light-skinned daughter. They don't care about the sons. It's about having a light-skinned daughter that has curly hair, that is always going to be the preference. They don't want to have black daughters that might not be deemed the preference.
So this lady has an interesting perspective. She's saying, you know, listen, a lot of black men want to have these non-black chicks because they want to produce a better looking female child. I've never heard this before. I've never thought that this mattered. I mean, I know plenty of black men who date interracially or marry interracially, and I know guys who are like really stuck on colorism, but I never heard it from this perspective. But she gives some important anecdotal evidence.
Years ago, early on in college, talking to this guy, he was like, I really like you, but I can't see it going forward. And I was like, why? Like, we're having a good time. He said, because I don't want to have dark daughters.
We talked about a situation in which she was dealing with a black man and she wanted to go further in a relationship, and the black man said, I don't want to have, you know, dark daughters. Now, again, I've never heard this from a brother, but this is interesting. And I can see how somebody affected by colorism will say this. Now, I will be honest, this is a little weird, right? Lil Jon, who comes from Atlanta, and I mean, there's so many different sorts of women in Atlanta that look good. That are beautiful, that are exceptional. And I know that Lil Jon is now bodybuilding. You know, he's doing this thing there and all that. And I think maybe he lives in maybe LA because he's at Venice Beach a lot now. I'm not sure. And when you look at her Instagram page, Jamila Zada, I mean, they're not married, but they're in a relationship. I mean, there is nothing about her that I don't know what they would have in common with. I mean, like, she's trying to look like Kim Kardashian. I mean, I do see that she's on her fitness journey too, so they have that in common. But I mean, there are black women that also do the same thing, and nothing on her page, like when you look at her page, he's the only black person there. Whatever she is, and I believe she's Afghanistan, everything is Afghanistan on her page. There is no other black person but Lil Jon on her page. Culturally, she don't have any black friends. I mean, you can scroll and scroll and scroll for miles and you will not see anybody black. I mean, you see her here in traditional wear, you know, and it looks like she had to really do or make an exception to deal with Lil Jon at all. Now, she is a physician assistant, so she is smart, but that's something to be talked about. And I wanna mention this because when I see black men, when they're dealing with women that are not in our community, first thing that I notice, and I notice this quite often, is black men have to, like, if you want to get like somebody from Afghanistan, somebody from Persia or Persian, you know, anywhere from, you know, those countries, that the old Persia, you have to be almost exceptional. Okay, you have to be completely exceptional. Like, imagine somebody like Scottie Pippen and Larsa Pippen. This is what you must be. Access them. You need to come with your money. You need to come with, you know, your name, and then that is your ticket for them making an exception to deal with you, okay? And almost every guy is following the same blueprint to have some level of validation. Like, if you don't deal with black women anymore, let me go and get, you know, a woman who is, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but seems like she has some surgery done and all of this stuff. And so you're trading your resources just to say that you have a Persian baby mama and you worked hard all day to be with this chick, okay? And I really don't want to hear like, oh, well, you know, he's just tired of black women's ish. He's just tired of black women's problems. Like, spare me that. It is so many human problems in every community, including when you put yourself in a situation with a non-black woman and she historically doesn't deal with black people, and now she is completely entitled because you had to sacrifice everything to be with her in this situation. I don't want to hear it. It's just BS. It's pretty much like, I just really, really, really wanted a non-black chick that looked like the Kardashians and I couldn't get Kim. So this is what I want. And so that somebody can accept me in Hollywood. All right. I'm not saying that shouldn't be your personal choice, but that's what is given to me. And then again, you know, since he's in LA and many talented black men, people have been talking about these interracial relationships.
So I saw this question in my comments basically asking me if it's true that black men in LA typically like to date white women. And I'm going to be completely honest.
Right. This is a lady that lives in LA. And again, she's been getting asked questions from her followers about these black men dating these non-black women. And this is her response.
My answer to you, sis, is this. With people who want to with you. I personally am so tired of hearing and seeing this interracial debate when at the end of the day, with people who want to with you, it's really not that difficult.
And again, let me just say this. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Why do I want to mention this right now? The reason why I want to mention this is, yes, I have seen what Cat Williams is talking about. Lil Jon is definitely following that same trend. However, this does not mean that all black men that are successful, or black men in general, are gonna move to this same beat because other people are moving to this beat. You're gonna have your black men that still want a black woman, that still want a woman that look like them, culturally, you know, is gonna be on their same level. I'm gonna keep it real. A black woman who is thick, caking it up, booty clapping it up, right? We need that. We're gonna have that. You know, somebody you can go to the same church with and all that. Still gonna be important. The main thing, whether it's black men or black women, is just staying in your lane and finding the people who wanna deal with you. And that tends to be the biggest issue in the black community. You're gonna have people like whoever they like. I mean, again, we you know, a lot of the brothers that go out there and get shot down by women all the time, you can't help it. Person not interested. But who is interested, okay? And you're gonna have so many people that are doing what Lil Jon is doing, which is trying to keep up with the Joneses. And of course, you know, he left his black wife for whatever reason, we don't know why, and now this is his choice. Could have been at that time, he couldn't have done better, but ultimately it's what he wants now. It's his right. That does not mean that will be the same situation for you. Only thing that you can control is what your value is on the market, and your value increases, number one, as you take care of yourself. Number two, as you are adding value to the market, giving a reason for somebody to deal with you. And that ultimately is it. But I'm gonna be honest, Cat Williams has officially opened my eyes. He did last year. What he's saying is still holding truth. And it's like, look, to be in the industry, do you have to be with a chick like that? I just do not want it. And I'm so thankful that I've been able to have my little dusty ass career in black YouTube as an organic content creator, because I could never do that. I gotta have my women with cheeks. I'm sorry. And they gotta be black. I need that in my life. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Usher Jackson back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.